What is it, Eric?
Hi, I was calling because earlier I heard...
Oh, you're not supposed to be calling anymore.
Oh, yeah, I thought you'd stop calling the show.
Last time.
Well, I decided to go against that.
Oh.
But anyway, earlier you were talking about Cheney and all them doing whatever they could to get out of the Vietnam War. Well, a little news story last night on the news. A 12-year veteran of the military here in the Bay Area is suing Rumsfeld and the government for forcing him to stay in the military when he wants to get out.
That's absolutely a good case, because how can you take orders from a commander-in-chief who was a draft dodger?
Yeah, these guys wouldn't go in under any circumstances. These guys have served honorably. It's time for them to leave, and they're saying no.
And the draft dodger, Dick Cheney, the draft dodger, John Ashcroft, the draft dodger, George Bush, who had parents who could get them out of the Vietnam War, have the balls to sit there and criticize Kerry when they, in fact, support the Vietnam War. Still do. Haven't learned a goddamn thing from what happened in history, which is even more shocking. They still say it was a just war. That shows you how insane they are. And on top of that, they didn't even serve. They just blew off their there was a draft. How can you have your commander-in-chief be that draft dodger?
Hey, hearing what I heard earlier from you...
Not in wartime. In wartime, you got to have a warrior. And it ain't George W. Bush just because he parades around in a military outfit.
Right.
We're at war. We're at war. Give me a commander-in-chief that the troops say, okay, at least got a guy who served and wasn't a draft dodger. But George, listen, you can sit there and go, oh, he was in the National Guard. No, he was a draft dodger. Call it what it was. And you know what? I was too much of a pussy to serve, and so is George W. Bush, and so is John Ashcroft, and so is Dick Cheney. They're not man enough to admit they're coward.
Hearing what I heard earlier.
Cowards. And then they set up, they had the balls to set up their own guy, John McCain.
Yeah, they have the nerve to attack people who actually did serve.
When are we going to start standing up to this guy? When are we going to start saying this is a joke? The guy's going around like Saddam Hussein in a military outfit so he can pretend he's an aircraft pilot. You got to be kidding me with this guy.
Plus, he didn't show up for a physical when it was time to renew his pilot's certification. He didn't show up for the physical.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. He's George W. Bush. His dad will get him out of it. Don't worry about it. I mean, but I don't mind that the guy wants to debate issues. Right. They're setting this guy up, Kerry, to make it look like he's anti-American because he protested the Vietnam War. The guy served. He got 3 Purple Hearts. Oh, he didn't deserve those Purple Hearts. One of the bullets only went in this far. Oh, sorry, GW. Let me put a bullet in your ass and see if you like it. You wouldn't. You're not man enough to go to Vietnam, even though you supported the war.
The guy that's suing him is also a very decorated officer of the military. And
please, John McCain was 5 years in a prisoner of war camp, locked in a box. And those guys somehow turned it around during the last primaries when McCain was trying to run, that he was anti-American and not pro-military.
Collaborated with the enemy.
Collaborated with the enemy, they accused him of.
A prisoner of war.
And how McCain somehow now stumps for George W. Bush is beyond me.
Yeah, a lot of people are questioning what could possibly be wrong with him. Seeing them do the same thing to another military man and still campaigning for them.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. So McCain's a big phony baloney, too. Except I don't feel comfortable saying it because the guy served his country. But John Kerry got 3 Purple Hearts. I mean, stop the madness. Sorry, the bullet didn't go deep enough for you. For Dick Cheney, 7 deferments. Excuse me, 5. John Ashcroft, 7 deferments. How's a guy get out of Yale and get 7 deferments? How's these guys got to go to Yale?
What important was he doing that he should have been deferred?
How did all those chicken hawks get to go to Yale when everybody else had to go serve? Chicken hawks. You know what a chicken hawk is? It's a guy who's all pro-war, but when it comes time for him to serve, he's a big chicken.
Nowhere to be found.
Dick Cheney's a big chicken. A big-ass chicken hawk. And the guy who wrote that article was right. John Kerry's entire speech should be, even when he goes to debate Bush, just get up and go, November 16th, 1963, September 2nd, 1963. And just keep reciting over and over again Dick Cheney's dates of deferment. That's it. Tom is screaming, we have to break again. You're screaming. Well, soon you won't have to scream anymore because I'm going to be gone. Then you'll miss me.
Outsingtons.
He's screaming.
It's time.
I can't break now because stop your screaming. Soon you won't have to scream anymore.
I wasn't really screaming, but Will knew that would get your attention.
I don't want to be played with during my show. Scream about your president's war record.
I'm with you, man.
Oh, all right, then I'll break.
Okay.
All right. You're voting for Kerry?
Yes, I am. Be the first time in the 30 years or 40 years almost that I've been voting. I think I've ever voted for a Democrat for president.
I will then break.
Thank you.
You're
very
absolutely
much,
correct, sir. I see you're intelligent.
Thank you.
People say you're not. I disagree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I agree with you.
All right.
I agree with you.
I can handle things. I'm smart. I'm like everybody says.
Robin, when we come back, we shall finish the news.
I'm smart.
Your general manager is voting correctly.
Thank you.
And he will be rewarded with this commercial break.